Hello and welcome to my meditation. My name is Debra Baker and I'm so grateful that you have joined with us for this little while. We are going to look today at what a great life we have. You know, it is a wonderful life. I've got a birthday coming up this week, and I think every one of us gets a little introspective and reflective during the week of our birthday. And and I look back and I think all of us have wonderful things that have happened to us. And so that's what we're going to focus on today. So let's get started. And let's begin with our 3 nice deep breaths. And if you still haven't closed your eyes yet, some of my daylilies are blooming, I'm happy to report. So let's take a nice deep breath. Filling up our lungs, really expanding our rib cage. Hold it for a second and now take an even deeper breath. Expand your rib cage and your back as well. Feel the stretch in your muscles around your rib cage as you're breathing in. And then hold it for a moment and then and now take the deepest breath you've taken all day. Really breathe down into your belly. Hold it and then breathe it out slowly. So let's begin for a moment by relaxing our bodies. Focusing on our feet, appreciating our feet, and let's invite our feet, all of our toes, to completely relax and let go. And while they do, let's send some love and appreciation to our feet. We are really fortunate. We have feet. There are people who don't have feet. I don't think about whether your toenails are wonky or your feet look like somebody else's. Appreciate that they get you from here to there. And they've gotten you to a lot of fun places in your life, a lot of happy places. Think of the journeys that your feet have taken you on. And now invite your ankles and your lower legs to relax. Your knees and your upper legs. And talking about journeys, think about all the journeys and all the places where your legs have brought you, and all the things that you've done, all the ways that you've explored the earth and this life with your legs, the help of your legs. Maybe you biked, maybe you did a pedal boat. Lots of ways to get around using our legs, or maybe you just pushed on the gas pedal. And now feel that relaxation around your pelvic floor, your hips, your lower back, your lower torso. And just imagine, your digestive and your reproductive organs, and appreciating those, whether you have had or given, had children, whether you have children or not. The reproductive organs are still important for functioning in this world, and of course the elimination organs are down there too, so it's about letting go of what no longer serves us. And so relax your tailbone, your hips, and feel the relaxation in your midsection, your tummy, your sides, your middle back. Just invite it all to let go and go to a neutral position. And then feel the relaxation in your rib cage. So your heart space, your back ribs, ribs under your arms, all the rib cage in the front, your precious heart. And just allow it all to relax. Just put it all on hold. If you're concerned about something, just put it on hold for a moment. It's not going anywhere. Oh, yeah. And now feel your hands. Relax your hands, appreciate your hands. Whether you like to create things with your hands like I do, or whether you just like to hold someone's hand or give comfort, or whatever you do with your hands, that is your human expression here on earth. A lot of it is through our hands. So just appreciate your hands. Each finger, your palms, the backs of your hands, your wrists, your lower arms, your elbows, and your upper arms. Think of all the people you have hugged and embraced over the course of this life. Think of the comfort you have given to people. And as you think about your upper back, think about the comfort you have received. And now your shoulders and your neck. Send them some love. Your shoulders hold a lot of sense of responsibility. We hold ourselves accountable for a lot that we are not actually accountable for. We can't make other people happy, and it's not our job to make other people happy. So I invite you to just give yourself permission to let go of all your responsibilities for this little while, and to acknowledge that you are enough. And that the world is going to keep spinning, whether you're worried about it or not. The stars don't need your permission or your energy to move through the sky at night. The earth doesn't need you to rotate on its axis. All that happens through the universe. And so you can let yourself off the hook and know that all is well, and all is well, and all is well. And now just feel that relaxation through your face, your ears, all the way through your head. So first let's appreciate our face and all of our facial expressions. Think of all the times when people have commented on your expression, whether it is you look so happy, or you look tired, or you look whatever. And sometimes we can appreciate our faces for telling the world what we don't even know ourselves. And now let's send some love and appreciation to our brains and just quiet them. My sister told me about an article she read about a technique to count backwards to get your brain to relax. And so let's try that as we're about to really go into some deep meditation. Let's just count backwards from 10 and imagine that with each number we get a little more deeply into meditation. We let go a little more and allow the infinite presence to move in through and as us. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's just spend a moment just being. I'm going to put a link somehow to this song that is one of my favorite songs, written by Daniel and performed by Daniel Namod, called Last Song. And it talks about an appreciation. And for the past 35 years I've been talking to dead people. And they always say it goes by so quickly. They look with great fondness on their human experience. Even those who've had a lot of trial and a lot of challenges in their lives look back with great fondness. And so I invite you to capture some of that fondness that you might feel, and to remember this is a wonderful life. We are truly, truly blessed. Think about maybe your first 3 years when your parents were young, or whoever was raising you was young. Your siblings were young, or maybe not even born yet. And your infinite soul was experiencing the earth freshly. It was a fresh world. And think of your wide-eyed wonder. And then fast forward to maybe your preschool years, and your experience. You were starting to understand that there were some things about this world that you didn't know that you were going to learn, and it's kind of a relief to know that it's somebody's job to teach it to you. You don't have to figure it out for yourself. And just that sense of, your physical abilities expanding. You can run faster and jump higher. Maybe learning to ride a bike or roller skate. And just all of the wonder of those years. And then when you get to school and the socialization process. And all of us are so different. Some people just love to meet new people, and others are more reluctant. They prefer their own space or their own quiet, or just one close friend. And just to treasure however you were, however you experienced the world as a young child, as a young school-aged person. And the joy of learning and figuring out that you were good at some subjects and better at others. You could help some people learn some subjects. And sometimes you had wonderful teachers, and other times you had teachers that you just didn't seem to approve of you. I think that was my little thing. My sweet little heart was seeking approval everywhere I looked. And so if you were, like that as well, let me give you approval right now. You were and are whole and perfect, exactly as you are. And if someone, then or now, found you lacking, found that you didn't measure up, their problem was in their expectation of you. And the problem was not in who you are or were. So let's let ourselves off the hook, that we don't have to meet other people's expectations. And at the same time, let other people off the hook, that they don't have to meet ours. Treasure the time that you get with each person, that you've had with each person. And thinking back on maybe your teenage years and your early 20s, when you really start to get a sense that I'm the captain of my own ship. And you have friends who are the captains of their own ships, and sometimes you go in the same direction and sometimes you go in different directions, and you start to figure out what adulthood might be like. And just think of all the fun times you had. Run a mental photo album of yourself as a teenager, as an early 20-something. And then move it forward to your mid and late 20s, if you're that old. Just imagine for the rest of your life focusing on all of the wonderful times, all of the joy. And what's so interesting is when I channel people who have passed away, they never talk about the challenges or the bad times, with the one exception of if whoever I'm channeling to needs to hear something like, "I'm sorry," or "I wish I'd spent more time with you," or "I wish I'd been kinder." You know, that's the only time that someone has passed away focuses on anything negative, and it is really a positive because they're trying to make it right, make someone's life better. And so truly, 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 we are so blessed. Every moment we get to choose our attitudes, and our attitudes shape everything. They make all the difference in the world. And so I invite you to recognize this life is sweet. This life is wonderful. I love my life. I am so glad I came. I am so glad I had this human experience. And I am so glad that you have had this experience with me. Oops, sorry, don't the camera. So let's look on this day with appreciation. We don't know how many days we get on this earth. So let's enjoy this one here, right now. Make the most of it. Shift your thoughts to the wonder. I was having this conversation this week with someone, or last week, about, someone doing something very, very kind. Someone I know had forgotten his wallet, and a couple there paid for his breakfast. And he said, he inferred that this was the exception, and I said, no, it's the rule. People love to be kind to one another. People are naturally helpful. People love to be generous and thoughtful. And the reason why the news is because it's the exception. That's what, in my journalism classes in college, we talked about what is newsworthy. And one of the factors that made things newsworthy was that it was the exception. It was unusual. This doesn't happen every day. Let's report about this. And so when you hear bad news on, the radio, the TV, and you see it on your phone or on your computer, I invite you to remember that that's the exception. And most of us are loving, kind, generous, precious souls wanting to be a loving, kind, generous place on this earth. So thank you for spending this time with me. And I share my birthday with a couple of friends, Mary and my partner in crime, Tam, and so I wish them a happy birthday this week too. And whatever time of year your birthday is, I hope that you celebrate yourself and just remember what a precious soul you are, because you are whole and perfect exactly as you are. And the one presence moving in, through, and as me honors and recognizes the one presence moving in, through, and as you. Namaste. Have a wonderful week.